Balbala the Traitor might be an optional boss in Path of Exile 2, but she's the first major stepping stone to fully unlocking the potential of your character with an Ascension class. Unfortunately, Balbala has some truly insane mechanics that make her boss fight one of the toughest in all of Act 2. If you're struggling with Balbala in POE2, that stops today. I'm Joy with esports.gg, and let's go over exactly how you can defeat Balbala the Traitor. To start off, Balbala is a poison user who utilizes a variety of melee and ranged attacks to pepper you with damage. She's definitely easier to beat as a ranged character due to the overwhelming damage she can do with melee combos though. So if you're a warrior or monk, prepare to repeat this boss at least a few times unless you're a true PoE god. My lightning monk didn't stand a chance against Balbala until I fully learned her mechanics. If you are playing a melee class, then you want to try and up your defense and evasion rating as much as possible. Warriors should also make use of their shield more in this fight than any other, as it can block a majority of Balbala's close range attacks that are lethal if they hit you straight on. Warriors can make use of the shield charge skill as well, which is actually quite useful in the fight. This allows you to close the gap to Balbala quickly if she attempts a ranged attack. Unfortunately, warriors have no real way of dealing damage from too far away, so you'll have to always be close to Balbala in her annoying melee and poison attacks. As for monks, my advice is to equip certain ranged skill gems that allow you to keep some distance from Balbala. The Glacial Cascade skill was especially useful for my build, even though I was favoring lightning damage before the fight. Fortunately for ranged characters, you can play around the giant hole in the center of the arena to avoid Balbala's attacks. Navigating the center of the map can keep you out of harm's way and allow you to deal damage from a distance. Of course, Balbala will still charge at you and throw some range attacks your way. Once you understand the fight, these moves can be easily avoided. With that out of the way, let's get into the fight itself. Once you reach Balbala's arena in the middle of the Traitor's Passage region in Act 2, you need to use 3 runic seals to free the boss and start the fight. From the get-go, Balbala is aggressive in her attacking. Overall, there are 4 main attacks you need to watch out for from the Traitor. Most of them are easily avoidable once you run the fight a couple of times, but they can still present a challenge. The first of the 4 is the Golden Rune attack, which causes huge AoE damage and spawns minions in the arena. Fairly often, Balbala will spawn a golden rune on the ground with a spinning coin in the center. The runes cause smaller Spirit of Balbala enemies to spawn until the rune is destroyed. The rune can't be destroyed until you touch it, but the kicker is when you do, Balbala immediately strikes down from the sky on the rune's location. The key with this attack is to touch the rune and immediately dodge roll away from it. This avoids the AoE damage from Balbala and makes it so no more enemies spawn in the arena. Of course, you'll still have to deal with the enemies until they're dead. You want to try and get rid of the runes as soon as possible, as the Spirit of Balbala enemies can overwhelm you pretty quickly if you leave the runes to fester. The next major attack you need to learn is the one Balbala is most infamous for. This attack sees a cloud of green poison gas emerge and spread from the hole in the center of the arena. The gas continues to spread until it consumes and kills you. Fortunately, you can easily stop the gas from spreading by running around the map and finding Balbala. When the gas starts, Balbala turns invisible and doesn't reappear until you find her location. When you do, Balbala will appear and the gas will stop. However, after finding her, you want to roll away quickly as the boss performs a massive AoE attack on her location. The best way to search for Balbala when the gas starts is to listen for her audio cues, which guide you fairly well. But as long as you make a lap around the map at least once, you'll find her eventually. The third attack to learn sees Balbala shoot dozens of golden daggers on the ground around you. These daggers explode after a second or two, and they always come in bunches. Your best bet here is to roll away from the daggers until they stop. If you're caught in the middle of them when they explode, you'll take severe damage. The daggers follow you around as you move away, so just keep moving in the opposite direction of the way they're thrown until Balbala starts another attack. The final attack Balbala throws at you is a poison dart combo. This can be performed at mid-range, and Balbala will shoot small darts at you wherever you go. As long as you're moving quick enough in one direction, the darts won't hit you. The darts last for roughly 4 or 5 seconds and usually poison you if you're hit by one, so you want to avoid them at all costs. The darts are more common to see for players that are navigating the hole in the center of the arena. If you're up close or too far away, Balbala tends to stay away from this attack. Aside from those 4 attacks, the only thing you need to watch out for is Balbala's melee combos. She can perform a pretty nasty spin move that closes the gap between you and her, as well as high damage sword attacks if you're too close to her. Luckily, Balbala tends to telegraph when these moves are coming. Once you learn the signs of her melee attacks, you can dodge out of the way or back up to avoid taking damage from them. Even if you know all of Balbala's attacks and you're still struggling, my recommendation is to try and complete Act 2 of POE2. Balbala is an optional boss, and chances are you won't be able to unlock your Ascension class after beating her anyway. The Trial of Sekimas are extremely difficult. You can complete more missions, level up, get better gear, and come back to Balbala when you're much stronger. At the end of Act 2, you'll be around level 30 to 32, a full 10 levels higher than Balbala. Pair that with new gear from looting or buying from vendors and additional skill gems, and you should blow past the boss with no problem. Hopefully, I have helped you at least a little in your quest to beat Balbala the Traitor in POE2. For those of you out there that have already beaten the Traitor's boss, how'd you do it? Let us know down in the comments below. Who knows, you could be helping someone who's hit a wall with the Act 2 boss.